What's up, everybody? Jonathan with Descent Athletics here again, and now we're going to talk about your starting. Okay, we've gotten started, we're kind of rocking and rolling, and I'm trying to figure out how do I keep this thing moving, and so it starts to create a couple of questions. We'll go through this a little bit. One of the first questions, or not necessarily a question, but a piece of advice. In the beginning, frequency is more important than intensity. Okay, so coming to the gym and making sure that you can make it twice in the beginning, 3 times, 4 times, that's going to ultimately lead you to more success than being super duper intense every day. And let's keep expanding this out. If you could get to where 7 days a week, you did a little bit of movement, some strength training, some cardio, intensity is actually going to mess you up, okay? So I would much rather someone be able to do something. I want you to move 7 days a week. But what we see a lot of times is we come in and we're so intense, and I do this myself. If I'm really trying to train, I'm gonna come in and train so intensely that I can't actually train the next day. Okay, so I'm going to come in and, like, if you're really looking at it, Monday, Wednesday, Saturday, these are the days that I'm just thrashing myself. And I'm thrashing myself to such a point that I'm having to take these other days off or very, very light so that I can do the thrashing. This is more of like a competitive mindset and trying to like go out and continue to change. That's not what you need to be focusing on in the beginning, even though that's what all the different influencers want you to think about. In the beginning, frequency over intensity. Let's keep going on this. I cannot tell you how many people I write programming with, and they're noobs, they're kind of starting out in this thing. All they want is intensity, baby. Hey, I'm not doing enough. I need you to give me more work. And it's like, well, how many days a week are you working out? 2 or 3. Well, stop doing that. Instead of asking me to give you a day where you go in for 2.5 hours, let's break that 2.5 hours up and start spreading it out throughout the week. And I promise you're going to be better off. Working out every day is much better than every other day and being more intense. This kind of goes against, if anybody out there is listening, the CrossFit methodology, or at least it seems to. CrossFit's, just if you wanted to wrap it up in one sentence, it is constantly varied functional movements performed at high intensity. And this high intensity part is all a lot of new people, or even people with their level 1s, which is like the certification to coach, that's what they hear. All they hear is intensity. Well, intensity is very, very much like an individual thing. Depending upon your physiology and your psychology is going to decide how intense you are. If you are just starting off, you don't even have it within you to be intense. Just did a workout with someone this morning, and what we were kind of exploring and explaining was you have to do this thing for 6 months to a year to get fit enough to apply that fitness to really start training and exercising. And so don't get caught up at high intensity. That's going to be different for everybody. And in the beginning, I just want you to be able to come in, and we can always layer on intensity after that. One of the next questions is, what kind of program should I be doing? Should it be a strength program? Should I be doing cardio? Should I mainly focus on like flexibility and balance and different things like that? The answer is all of it. If we want to work out to be healthier, and we're trying to use this health so that we can live not necessarily the longest, but we can have more years of feeling good, then I want to do it all. I need to strength train, because after I turn 40, I'm going to start losing like 5% of my muscle mass a year. And if you start going out to, by the time I'm 50, I've lost a shit ton of muscle mass. So I need to be strength training. As you get to 40 or 50, your ability to add muscle mass is crazily declined. So at this point in my life, I need to be adding as much muscle mass as I can before this eventual decay is going to come. So that's where the strength training comes into my program. I need to have cardio. I need to be able to process oxygen. I need to be able to move different things throughout my body. I should be able to do this for a long time, okay? I want to have a speed where I can go for an hour or 2 hours and just like keep cruising. This shows that my body is efficient and that I'm metabolically healthy. It's a fancy word that people are saying. You probably heard it. I also, though, need to be able to go really fast, really quick, and then be able to recover from that. And this is getting into like VO2 max. And if you want to look at what separates people, like once you get to the age of 60, if you wanted to take a group of people and figure out who was going to die next, look at VO2 maxes. If I want to see who's going to live to be 100, I want to find the person with the highest VO2 max, and that's going to apply. We have to start working on cardio as well. Flexibility, balance, coordination, those different things. If we are strength training and doing cardio correctly, those things will come. I will gain flexibility. I will gain range of motion as I start doing the workouts and performing them correctly. And you're going to get way more flexibility, range of motion out of doing strength training correctly than you will doing like static stretching and different items like that. At the end of all of this, though, we have to make sure that we're resting and recovering. If you're not working out right now, you're doing too much resting and recovering. However, I've seen it to where the people come in, we do 10 hours a week or whatever it is of exercise, and there's zero thought into rest and recovery. I promise you that for every hour I do exercising, there is an hour of recovery that's like put into that. Whether that's like mindfully eating so that I can calm myself down, whether that's doing breath work to change like the balance of oxygen and CO2 in my body. These are the things that I'm doing to make sure that my body is getting a signal that I'm resting and that I'm recovering. So this is, to me, how I would get started in like answering a few of the questions. Frequency over intensity. In a program, I want a program that combines strength training and cardio, and I want to make sure that I'm planning and putting in rest and recovery. Hope this helps.